And now, on to Who's Who. This segment is founded and hosted here by Mr. Sonny Siegel, who is the CIO of Montgomery County, Maryland. In each of his segments, Mr. Siegel features a top-notch personality of the globe. Today, he chooses to showcase a movie producer, Mrs. Monika Samtani. Let's meet her.
Welcome to the Who's Who Show. This is your host, Sonny Siegel. Today, our guest is Ms. Monika Samtani. She returns to our segment to tell us the rest of the story as we had promised the last time she was here. Monika, welcome again.
Oh, thank you for having me
show.
again. Thank you.
Thank you for making the time.
Of course.
To come and tell us the story, the rest of the story.
Absolutely.
So you have been in the company of people that I only see on the big silver screen.
Yeah.
Some of them, of course. Priyanka Chopra is one of my favorites. And now because she's in the TV series Quantico, I think she has really become internationally famous and popular. And then you have other actors and actresses. Can you tell us who are some of the other names that you worked with?
Sure. Along with Priyanka Chopra in Girl Rising, their ambassadors of Girl Rising was Frida Pinto. I've also worked very closely with Jeffrey Brown, who is an Oscar-winning director and produced the film Sold, which I was involved with for all of last year and part of this year as well, and other big names as well. Gillian Anderson is in the film, so I got a chance to work a little bit with her and talk to her about her project and be at the UN with the whole team. It's been quite exciting.
Yeah, and what is it like to be with these celebrities?
Well, you kind of take a step back and you think, okay, so this is a project that I'm now involved in. And so you sort of level the playing field because the ultimate goal is the same, whether it's Sold and the message about human trafficking, and in this case with children, and with Girl Rising, which is empowering girls with an education and giving them that platform. So all of us have the same goal, right? Which is to promote these things and create awareness throughout the world. So really, again, like I said, you create a level playing field and you're treated as an equal because you've got the same mission in mind.
I see.
And so each project has to be approached like that. You cannot have, you can't be awestruck, because certainly I come to the table because I have something to contribute as well. So I think that's how I approach every project, whether it's with a huge celebrity, and certainly it is very exciting to work with huge names and change makers such as those names and others that I've worked with. But I feel that I bring enough to the table that I can hold my own.
And of course you have vast experience, so to speak, early experience in producing a PBS series that we all watched, Hinduism in America, as an example.
Yes.
And so that was about religion and in a diversified landscape here in the United States. And is that continuing to be a much watched series?
It was a two-part series. It was a special series. So I certainly hope that people still watch it because it is on their website.
It's still relevant.
It's absolutely relevant. But what I would say is more than the idea of unifying our country, because you and I were talking before the segment about, is it something that strengthens our country? Well, I think what strengthens our country is, now I was a first generation Indian, now I'm raising a second and third generation of Indians. But I think what's more important is that we unify in terms of our understanding our history, understanding our culture, being good in our skin, but also creating awareness about having that conversation, sitting down and understanding each other. I don't know if you've heard of this comedian, Hassan Minhaj. So he just spoke at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he also just did a special called Homecoming King on Netflix. It's a must-watch. Because what he says in there is very interesting. He says, aren't we all bigger than our race, our color, our creed, and our class? Aren't we all bigger than that? That what unifies us? And what I say to that is, yes, it's humanity that unifies us. So so often we know that religion is what unfortunately can divide us. Whereas if we understand each other culturally and spiritually, maybe that's what we need to unite us.
Yeah, what quite a strong message, something to be taken to heart. Yes, definitely. And now I hear you have produced another
Yes.
film. Can you tell us about that?
Yes,
please?
absolutely. Well, let's start with the whole idea that I'm very into girls' education and empowerment, which we spoke about in the previous segment. And so one of my first clients, as I mentioned, was Sahasra Deepika. It's a school for girls in Bangalore. And I was very fortunate because I got to go to India, to the school in Bangalore, which is just a little oasis. It's a diamond in the rough, so to speak. It's a phenomenal place where girls come from abject poverty and are given a chance to get an education and then a job and vocational training and go to college. So we got to go there and film a documentary, a short documentary about the first girl who came to the school.
Wow.
Would you like to take a look?
Perhaps, yes.
Yes.
Let's watch.
My full name is Suman, yes. I am from Chitradurga. I had one older brother and one younger brother. We lived in a village. My mom and my dad fought. My mom brought me here when I was too young, 4 years old, and she left me and she told that I'll come back and she promised me that she'll be back. I felt a bit afraid, but I believed her and she went and she never came back.
छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी.
My mom never came back.
नए दौर में लिखेंगे हम मिलकर नई कहानी. हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी.
This is Suma's story. Suma was 4 years old when she came to Sahasra Deepika Institute, a safe haven for underprivileged girls in Bangalore, India. Girls like Suma. As a young child, Suma lived with her parents and 2 brothers in a poor village outside of Bangalore. The family coped with an abusive father and no money, and extremely difficult circumstances. Suma's mother became desperate for help. With no hope for a better life in the village, she fled with her children to the city of Bangalore to escape the daily beatings. In Bangalore, the situation became even more grim, with the realization that she could not provide for a daughter. So she made another heart-wrenching decision that would change Suma's life forever.
I thought we are moving somewhere to new home. I asked, Mom, you are not going to stay with me. She told, I'll come back. I'll bring chokis and cookies for you, like that. And she went off.
Suma, when she came, beautiful little girl. And until she is about 9 or 10, then she remembered her parents. Then when she became a teenager, like 12, 13, 14, then she reflected a lot why my father was beating my mom. And I dreamt about it, Mataji. I dreamt my mother was crying, my father was beating all the time. Maybe that's what she saw when she was a little girl.
Known here at Sahasra Deepika as Mataji and Pitaji, or Mother and Father, founders Vijaya and T.V. Ramakrishna started the Institute in 1998 with a mission to educate and build a future for impoverished children in India.
We looked around. It was a very bad situation for girls. And I was keep thinking how in the world these children will face being on the streets sometimes, being, deserted children everywhere. And so we focused on completely to give the girls the freedom so that they can stand on their own feet and they can be somebody in this world.
India has the largest illiterate population in the world, with a wide gender disparity. More than 1/3 of all women around the world who are illiterate are Indian women. In a country where the literacy gap is huge, it's a unique opportunity for the Sahasradipika girls. Nestled on 4 acres of land away from the hustle and bustle of the city, Sahasradipika is a quiet oasis where the girls learn life and leadership skills in a stable environment.
My parents started this because they just wanted to give back. And they never imagined that here we are, 17 years later, that so many children would have come through their doors and so many lives would have been changed. And it's amazing to see because each step of the way the children are supported. It's more than just providing their education, they're given support.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
It's a sense of community and family for the 65 girls who live at the Institute. Starting the day together with daily rituals, they encourage each other and feel a sense of pride about themselves in a safe, judgment-free zone.
Girls, time has come past. Yeah, we are coming.
Each day.
Monica, wow, that was really powerful.
It really is.
Yes.
What a story.
It has a huge message, yes.
Well,
not,
it
not
does.
just for this one little girl who finds haven,
Yes.
safe haven,
Yes.
and then goes on to do good things. Can you tell us more about the bigger meaning of
Yes.
this?
Well, I would invite everyone to watch the whole film. It is there on YouTube and it's on the website of the school, sdie.org. What's amazing about this story is that, yes, this girl, she was 4 years old when she was left on the doorstep of a brand new school, and the mother left, never came back. So what does a 4-year-old girl do? Now, the one thing you can think of is, how could the mom do that? But on the other hand, you think, well, she couldn't have done better for her. What better place to leave her? Because often these are girls who are victims of human trafficking, they're victims of the daughters.
That
and
could
so
have been an alternative.
it could have easily been an alternative, and that's certainly what it's their reality. So what the greater good here is that she has now become the beacon of hope for the other girls who go to this school. There's 70 girls at this time that go to the school, and they're hoping to expand, of course, because 70 is just a drop in the bucket when you think about how many girls need help. And so her story inspires. This is her family. Not only the people who run the school, but the girls who go there are her sisters. And so she, on the weekends,
She's found a family.
she has found a family, a huge family, who love and support her. And the most beautiful thing about this is because of her education, you won't believe where she works. She works at HSBC.
Wow.
Now she's starting out
A
there,
multinational. Yeah.
but she's got this opportunity. So, now girls here are getting involved in the school there by creating fundraisers at their schools because they want to see that school expand. We have a couple of young girls who are trying to see if they can create a sports arena at the school by raising the money here, because girls and athletes and athletics is very
Yes,
important.
yes.
It's about the holistic approach to a girl. And that's what I think is the greater good that's happened through this film, is creating awareness that it exists. Because otherwise, who's thinking about a small school that exists in Bangalore, India, if you live here? Because we live in our bubble. We do, and it's through no fault of anyone's, but we do.
And children in drastic poverty, just with no hope whatsoever.
They come from the
They
streets.
come there.
So then we have to think
We are
about
in a
these
bubble.
things.
Yes,
And so, well,
relatively.
we're very lucky, right? So we have to think beyond. We have to think globally, and to help a girl for her future all the way, 10,000 miles away, could impact what you're doing in your life here one day. You could be connected, because the world is connected. I mean, look at the way we're connected on social media. So I think we have to think about giving back on a global scale.
Yes, and there are potentially huge implications of children who are unspoken for
That's right.
and need a hand.
That's right. And so this is one of many. I would invite people to look into the school, but then look into other places. What do you connect with that you can give back to and be involved in? And I would encourage parents to start it at an early age.
I see. What a wonderful message.
Thank
you for everything you're doing.
Of course.
In supporting, women and entrepreneurship, education, empowerment.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Sunny.
again.
You're very
Thank you
welcome.
for making the time.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. This is Sunny Siegel signing off from the Who's Who show. I hope to see you next month at the same place and the same time.